Diversity enriches all our lives. It doesn't enrich the Christmas markets. I'm walking around with a £7 hot dog and a £6 cheap crappy mulled wine, and I'm thinking to myself, do we want diversity? We never used to have terrorist attacks on Christmas markets. This afternoon I had a walk round Manchester city centre's Christmas markets. I do every year. What I've noticed over a decade now is the diversity. Not the diversity of people, but the diversity of anti-terrorist attack bollards. That's all you can say, bollards. Concrete slabs to stop vans. Armed police walking round with machine guns to stop stabbings and bombs and shootings. Welcome to diverse Manchester city centre. Diversity is our strength. Diversity enriches all our lives. Lisa Nandy said that the other day on TV. Diversity enriches all our lives. It doesn't enrich the Christmas markets. I'm walking around with a £7 hot dog and a £6 cheap crappy mulled wine, and I'm thinking to myself, do we want diversity? We never used to have terrorist attacks on Christmas markets. We've had terrorist attacks before than campaigns. 100 years ago it was the suffragettes killing people, blowing up buildings, setting off fire bombs, killing men. That's what they did. Google it. They were domestic terrorists. They weren't freedom fighters. They were far left scum. Then we had the IRA killing people, blowing stuff up at Christmas. I'm old enough to remember those campaigns. But today, there's only really one terrorist campaign in the UK and across the West. We're not allowed to name it, are we? We're not allowed to say who's trying to kill us. This country allowed people to move here for a better life, and they got a better life. But a very small percentage of them are nutcases and want to change this country. Change this country to the country they fled from. So why did they fled from those countries if they want our country to be exactly the same as that country? Makes no sense. But they're mentally ill, so it doesn't make any sense, does it? So when you're walking around the Christmas markets, munching on your over-expensive hot dogs and drinking cheap, crappy mulled wine, which I've been doing today, don't forget to have a toast for diversity. We don't have any diversity problems anywhere else, do we? We don't have concrete slabs outside mosques and temples. The far right are not trying to blow them up, are they? But for some reason, when it's a Christian event, when it's a mass event, when it's an event that may look controversial to a certain percentage of the population, then there's danger there. There's danger of madmen with knives stabbing us like we're little girls in Southport, planting bombs, blowing us up, getting a machine gun and shooting us. Happens in Europe all the time. Happens here. Those 3 girls died down the road from where I live. I used to go on holiday to Southport. But God forbid we speak up. God forbid we name the evil we're afraid of. God forbid. Because you can go to jail. You'll be a political prisoner. And that's no exaggeration. We have political prisoners today in jail in the UK. Some of the people who took part in the riots and the troubles in the summer probably deserve to go to jail. I don't want to see people attacking the police and setting fire to hotels. But some of them were sat at home on the internet, upset at the death of 3 girls, venting their frustration, thinking they had freedom of speech, and some of them have got years in jail. Let me say that again. Years in jail. Not a fine, not a slap on the wrist. There's people walking out of court today who have got horrendous child pornography on the phone, who abuse people, who rape people, who mug people. They don't even go to jail. But God forbid you criticise diversity online. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Straight to jail for you. So what is the danger? What are we afraid of? I'll tell you. It's called radical Islam. Not Islam, radical Islam. A small percentage of nutcases who think they speak for God. Anybody who speaks for God, anybody who hears the voice of God is a nutcase. We all know that. What I would like to see next year, my Christmas wish for this year, is that the moderate Muslims, which are most of them, which are my friends, the moderate Muslims take some personal responsibility for their community and start sorting their shit out. They need to start rooting out these individuals, these nutcases, the people who preach hate, the people who preach that they do not want to integrate into this country. You need to sort them out, because we can't. And if you don't sort this out, this is going to lead to violence. We all know that's happening. We can feel it, we can see it. There's only so many times the British population can be taken advantage of before something really bad happens. You've still got time. Take responsibility and be the people we need you to be. And I'm sure you're afraid, because those radical Islamists are going to kill you just as quick as they're going to kill me. They're every stab happy. I get that. But as a country, we need to deal with radical Islam, because today that's the only threat we have in the country, the only serious threat. We've had threats in the past, we'll have threats in the future that'll have nothing to do with radical Islam. But today, while I'm alive, while I'm walking around the market eating expensive hot dogs, that's the only thing I'm afraid of. So stick your Christmas hat on, pull a cracker, and pray that we get a grip of radical Islam. Diversity is not our strength. Diversity brings problems, and we're suffering those problems now. We need better politicians who will deal with this. And again, we need moderate Muslims to play their part, a huge part in this. Come on. Sort out your own community. Sort out those individuals who are nutcases. And let's just get along. Let's live in peace. Happy Christmas, if I've not depressed you.